And we're on. Welcome to ShoreShack Adventures. We have a group of heroes that have traveled both far and wide to meet on an island. Some by circumstance, some by intention. All here for a common, similar, though different motivations. It's been 62 days since the first hero has set foot on this island, and many episodes later. The party finds themselves in the town of Ironton on the north side of the island, traveling here from Alabasta. They've discovered quite some turmoil and political intrigue. In all this, they find themselves facing a hole of excrement, or rather, a sewer of sorts, it seems. Not with common piping, but carved of the land itself, with flowing sewage, lava tracks, and just all around storage down there. In the last episode, our party had adventured down, found a challenge of sorts, enough to send them fleeing and pissing their pants. Luckily, they were in the appropriate place. After messaging Soomper, the party druid, short little guy, he was supposed to meet them at the exit of the vast expanse underground. The party's on their way out right now. Will they make it to Soomper before whatever is in there makes it to them?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right, drop the music.
I will sharpen my axe on my enemy's face.
Hey, where's that gold at?
What are we doing here, man?
Jesus, Jehoshaphat! Like, where did this fucking hat come from?
It feels good to be back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Make surfboards with my bunyip. I don't even care about the gold anymore.
All right, gentlemen, where we left off last time, you were down in the caverns. You had just fought off one of these creepy insect beasts coming from holes in the carcass of a giant snail. As you made it out, you knew there were more there. But your heart was thumping. You realized you must make it out before you all end up dead. On your retreat, you pulled a stone out from a bag, a stone that connected you to Soomper himself, an ally on the surface. You messaged an SOS on your way out, and that's where we will pick up. Gentlemen, you have the stone in hand. You have connected with Soomper. You have 2 minutes to speak. Speak your mind.
Super!
Yes, this is Soomper calling in from this rock.
Hello, Super. This is Show on the other end of this rock. We've encountered a bunch of foul beasts. We need your help.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, I guess, are you guys at that the cave or whatever that you were talking about the last time?
Yeah, we're in the cave. We're in the sewers underneath the town. You said you went to meet some guy called Boise or something like that.
Yeah, good old boys. But I didn't have enough time to find them. But I mean, if you guys, dying,
well, if you could grab Red Cloud and hurry up and meet us, that would be wonderful.
Well, we're on our way back out, so if you want to meet us at the mouth of the cave, I don't know. We're coming out. It's smelly and scary.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, your looming death takes precedence over me finding Boise. So I'll be there in a jiff if I can find it. I don't know about Red Cloud, by the way. Super out.
Over and out, Super.
Over and out.
Oh shoot!
All right, Super, you make your way through the city. You see a bunch of guards. You see vacant streets. You see more guards. You eventually find a hut that looks similar to an entrance that you were told about.
Right.
You walk up to it. Within a garden, you surround yourself to an opening in a cavern. This is the entrance.
Right. Because I'm from the city, so I kind of know my way around and whatnot.
Indeed.
All right. I walkie-talkie the rock, the message rock, and I'm like, hey,
Nothing happens.
nothing happens. Okay, it doesn't work.
It's once a day.
Ah, right. Okay. There's like I mean, you say there's an entrance, right? It's open.
Indeed.
All right, so I'll just shout through like, "Hey, can you hear me? It's Super. I'm at the entrance," and hoping that they can hear me. You know.
Roll a perception check.
All right.
Just simple.
Dude, I rolled a 1. I can't.
You don't even hear your echo because bats just erupt out of the cave and just start smacking you in the face as you started screaming. You start looking down and there's bugs and shitting bats everywhere, and you're just like, fuck this cave.
I go, Guano! And I just started, like, ineffectively, I'm assuming, kind of trying to smack them away from me or whatever.
And we'll leave you there for now.
Okay.
The rest of the party, you're traveling out, carrying three dripping, bloody carcasses of heads of these beasts, as well as an earring belonging to the dwarf that you discovered with arms severed. As you drag these through the cavern, there are different creatures that seem to be either both curious in the smell and the decaying flesh in front of you that you are carrying with you, and those that are spooked and startled by the smell of the excrement of these creatures. Is there anything you'd like to do with them? And as you look down also, it's worth noting that the more time you spend, the more they curl up a little bit. Like, imagine a dead insect.
Well, we just chopped the heads off of them, right?
Correct.
Right.
And
So
that-
they should be what, like football size? Like cooked cantaloupe?
Oh, no. These are probably,
You said they were 3 foot.
yep, and they have really big heads. The heads are about this big, and they're equipped with these giant mandibles, as well as a couple tentacly type feely things, is all you can really gather.
Like an ant?
Shorter. Roll a nature check.
Wow. A 2 plus 3, 5.
Just like an ant.
Exactly. All right.
How are you transporting these, and what is your marching order, gentlemen? You have Show, you have Flick, and you have Xander.
Well, I thought the whole thing was like 3 feet. So, I expected something yay size, not yay size. So
describe what you do differently. That's fine. We can backplay it a little bit.
if they're this big, we're not going to grab 3 of them. I'll grab 1 of them, and I'll carry it.
All right. What is the marching order, gentlemen? As you're walking through this damp cave, feet splashing, bats flying, you come across the area which is only 4 feet tall that you remember. having to travel through. This is also the area where you saw the slime going off into a cavern. Give me the marching order and how you guys are traveling.
Well, we've been through everywhere here, so, or at least we've been back along the path that we're taking back out. So I don't know. I would say Xander, you should lead since I think you're the toughest of the crew, and but we also aren't expecting to run into anything, and we all see in the dark. So,
But could there be something behind?
I suppose there could be something behind us.
So are we really just? Because if we're booking it back out, we've got about 20 minutes of us hauling tail to get out. Because it took us about an hour and a half or so to get down here, I believe, is where we were at.
Really? But we spent like a good half hour in a room full of poop, didn't we?
I'd say you probably spent about 10 minutes. All you really did was look at the poop, try to determine where it was coming from and where it was going.
Man, that poop felt like an eternity to me. I guess it's just how gross that was. I don't know, man. Yeah, let's just book it out of here. I can go second.
Yeah.
We've still got the sweet smell of roses around our faces, so we are we're heading back out. And okay, I guess I'll go first, and
I'll bring up the rear. So
she'll
you're
be
in the
second,
middle.
and the wooden man will be last.
Clickety clack.
All right, so you start traveling through this 4-foot cavern hunched over. Your speed diminishes tremendously, all being tall folks. Looking around for anything curious, but spending most of your attention at making haste rather than looking at anything particular. You make your way through this 4-foot cavern, and it begins to open up again. You walk past the shitter, so you might call it. There's 3 holes and piles of shit under them that seem to be just missing holes in the ground. You recall looking through those holes and feeling the hot air kind of come up out of the holes itself. Not unbearable, just warm air. And recall seeing it's about 120 feet down. Show, you specifically notice this. Flick, I don't think you walked up to the shitter hole. But Show, you do know this because your dark vision goes about 120 feet. And that just so happens to be the depth of such a cavern. You pass through. Go ahead and roll me a d20. Xander, since you are leading.
You want me to roll it?
I do.
Well, all right. Let me actually grab a real one.
And let's make a perception roll.
Oh, this is perception?
Oh, yeah, it is. I got to grab a dice to roll what you're perceiving.
All right. Well, you do that, and
Oh, damn it. I have an EKG machine in the way.
I rolled a 18 plus 4, 22.
As you're walking down, and just before you lift your head up, out of the 4-foot cavern, you did hear creatures. Various creatures. There's bats and things like this. The creature that you heard that made you most curious, because you couldn't tell a size or an intention, had a, and you just heard legs like, and then whenever you tried to perceive it more, you paused, listened, and heard nothing. But as you started to move, you would hear it again. You'd stop, and you would hear nothing. This was about 7 or 8 minutes ago. You've come to the point where You know you're being followed. You just don't know by what, how big it is, or its intentions. But you swear you keep hearing this. It's just really good at stopping when you stop. Is there anything you'd like to do about that? Or inform the party, etc.?
Guys, I believe we're being followed by something.
Lovely.
Well, I can perceive that it is behind us and not in front of us. Sound-wise.
All right. Well, I would.
No, I'm
try
asking Mike.
to-
Can I tell it's behind us and not in front of us?
You cannot.
I cannot.
With the 22, let me combat that with a stealth roll. As you stop, you hear click, 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 and then it stops every time. And you do realize it is behind you.
Well, I would gaze long into the darkness to see what I could see if anything gazes back.
Yeah, and there's you just don't see anything. You guys spend some time looking backwards, and with sight, there's just nothing there in the darkness with your dark vision. Give me a perception check, Flick. Let me determine how this thing is going to be acting here. All right.
Can I hear?
5.
How about in the time where it click, 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 clicks and stops? Can I guesstimate about how far behind it is?
Give me a wisdom. Survival.
All right. Well, you told me wisdom, and I rolled wisdom.
No, that is the same thing. Survival just gives you more bonus.
Natural 20, 22.
Super. You are at the edge of this cavern. You've just been guanoed. Are you going to set foot inside? Are you going to explore? Or are you going to wait patiently? And
I'll
what's with you?
Yeah, I'll step a foot inside, and then I'll go kind of. I mean, I guess how does it open up in front of me?
Yeah, it opens up in front of you. There is a left and a right turn.
Okay, and so then I'll shout down one way and then the other, like guys, it's super, the other way as well. Just I'm at the entrance.
And you think you hear a response. The response goes, super, super. Xander, as you're trying to track this thing behind you, with your excellent perception, you do hear super. And all you hear is really super, super, super. So you know you're close to the exit.
All right.
You were trying to figure out how far back it is.
Behind us.
Yeah. And let me go ahead and just, if my computer doesn't freeze on me and die. Jonathan. That is what you perceive.
Okay. At that distance, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Bolts of energy and light come out of your hands and kind of extend forward. I believe you have 4 different orbs that now...
No. Not dancing lights. Fairy Fire.
Oh, okay. Fairy Fire. Explain it to me.
Okay, so each object within a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. My choice. I will take violet.
Okay.
Any creature in that area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails the dexterity throw. And that is a dex save of 15.
I rolled a 13, and he gets a +1. You guys look back. What color is this?
It is violet, so purple.
You guys look back into the darkness, and you see just a violet light on the ceiling begin to and kind of fill, outlining the body of this creature. You see a number of different arms as this thing crawls across the ceiling with different tentacles poking out that extend about 1.5 to 2 feet length, just fluid, almost like a creature in water. They seem to be ignoring the lack of resistance and suspendability of air, and he is just sitting on the surface, stopped, feeling stealthed, at about 40 feet away from you. And as you guys are still, so is he.
Am I able to see any like of this light from where I'm standing? And I mean, I know I'm at the entrance still, but
You do not.
okay.
Okay, so everybody else can see it too.
Correct.
So since it stopped, we're stopped. I'm going to say, okay, look behind us. That's what's there. On the count of 3, we're going to run.
You're muted.
I'm already running. As soon as I see it, I'm gone.
All right, I take off too.
It's off.
2,
Yeah, Sanders the last one there.
3. So I'm going to turn around and run after them, and we're hightailing it towards the entrance.
Are you gentlemen running? You guys are running as hard as you can, I would assume?
I mean, you know,
I'm running. Like I'm not.
I'm going
not
to
in a state of panic. I'm just
Right.
trying to move fast.
My speed should be greater than this thing's anyway, so I want to keep it within the 60-foot range.
Okay. So as you run, and what is your speed again? 30?
My speed?
Yeah.
No, my speed should be
Do. I don't know where speed ends up showing up on this, funny enough. Features and traits. Speed. 30 foot.
Walking speed 30 feet for
Minus
most people.
30? Oh, yeah, so walking. Movement.
So as you are sprinting forward, you begin running. You know you're about 10 minutes away from the cavern entrance. You get a little ways in, and you're looking back behind you. You see this creature scurrying right after you. It's hard to tell at this point whether it's catching up or not, but it seems to be keeping distance for sure. That's the first time you look back. Xander, let's say that was within the first minute. Are you going to keep looking back?
Well, I'm going to glance back to see,
If the minute's over, the spell only lasts for a minute. So
How often are you looking back, Xander? I'll give you that. If you're sprinting straight forward, you are making better time. If you're looking back over your shoulder, it reduces the amount of speed that you have just a little bit. How much back and forth are you looking?
I would probably look back every 15 seconds. So 4 times during the duration of the spell.
Okay. If you sprint 4 times, perfectly fine, without any exhaustion or anything like this. It's keeping pace with you, and every time you look back, it seems to be getting slightly closer. But not, if you keep pace, it won't catch you before you get to the exit. That being said, after about 2 minutes of sprinting, We'll start rolling for exhaustion if you would like. So the fairy fire on this creature goes out. Flick, you notice the back is just darkness. You can see a white scurrying across the ceiling with your exceptional dark vision, though you are a bit ahead of the rest of the crew. It seems to be anywhere between 80 and 120 feet behind you. You guys are all sprinting out. 2 minutes comes by and you feel the wind just, you start getting one of those side cramps when you're running too hard, too fast.
Me?
You all do.
All right. Well, I guess I would stop running, to catch my breath, so to speak.
And you guys can continue with your 30-foot pace. You just can no longer sprint.
Yeah, I'm still moving, but I'm not going to try to put myself at a disadvantage if it catches up.
Same for me.
I'm not going to leave them behind, so I'll stay with them.
All right, fair. As you guys are moving, you start to talk, heaving, etc., trying to gather your air. Super. You hear foot volley toward the left. You know someone is coming in heavy breaths. Now distance yourself a little bit from knowing that these guys are running through the cavern.
Right. So I like
do in this moment.
Right. So like he hears this, Super hears this, and he looks over and he raises his staff and he says like, Xander, Show, Flick, is that you? And I'm like ready to basically take a swing at whatever comes out of the dark. I mean, I have dark vision, so I can see a certain distance. I feel once they're in my vision, I wouldn't accidentally hit them is what I mean. But I'm like ready to, depending on whatever it is.
And out of the cavern, you probably start to see, and I hope I did the map in the right way, the outlines of 3 familiar bodies, staggering, exhausted, panting. And from what you can tell, they're at the distance of your vision inside this cavern. But they are your friends. Your friends hear this, and you are now reunited to some degree. You approach, your friends are looking back over their shoulders quite a bit. The rest of the party, you don't see this creature any longer.
Doesn't mean it's not there. I'm like, what are you guys running for? That's what he asked.
Monster.
Oh,
Cave
super.
monster.
Something's chasing us. Something's been chasing us. A lot of legs. Tentacles. It was crawling on the ceiling. It was very hard to see until Xander lit it up.
Right. What, do they
It might have been a big version of this.
I was going to say, like, what is it that you got there?
I have no idea.
You hold this up, and there's a part of the cavern which you could smell a very distinct smell, if you do recall last time. And as you were running through the caverns and holding the head in hand, it has begun to curl exponentially smaller than it did before, specifically when traveling through that area that had the smell. And so you hold it up, and it looks like a crusty ball of sorts, or a creature that must have curled into itself. You tug at it a little bit to try to pull it out and show the different facets of its mouth and its jaws, but they all seem to be very crisp.
So I can't really look at it and glean anything from it.
Well, Super, you would recognize this. As a matter of fact, were you there when we fought the giant snail?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, it wasn't the giant snail, but there was one of those down there too. It was dead. This came out of the snail. Actually, maybe you would recognize it. This came out of the snail, right? That's what you grabbed? Well, we also fought one of those other creatures when we were fighting the snail. There was this other kind of monstrous insect-like thing that had crawled out of the water while we were fighting the snail. We smote it pretty fast at the time. We smote it pretty fast this time too. But there was one of those down there as well. So snail, weird, monstrous, horrific creature of the deep. And then these suckers with that Xander's got, he's got the head, or it was the head of there, right? Right. When we brought it out, these things were eating the snail. They crawled out of the snail and tried to eat us. We fucked it up, took its head, and the rest is pretty much history, minus the giant creature, giant insect that was chasing us, which seems to be none of these things that we fought already.
Sounds like there's some pretty fucked up shit going on in these sewers.
Yeah, and that's not even mentioning the room full of poop. I still want to talk to Elamar about that. I need answers. And there was a lake of sulfur in there too, and there was a hole that smelled like sulfur, I think, too. Lots of sulfuric smells going on.
I mean, I've heard stories about the sewers where there's like, there's something going on in the sewers, but I would imagine that that's not really the case if people have to maintain it. I don't know. That sounds crazy.
That's what I wanted to talk to Elamar about. I don't know about maintenance in these sewers. It looked just kind of like there was a hole where poop fell into a room, and that was the extent of the plan. But I would like to talk to him just for a minute, see what's going on. But yeah, whole lot of different kinds of monsters, like a whole monster party down there.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, sewers are generally festering and different pests and creatures. That's fucked up, though. I'm trying to remember what were we trying to do in this? What were you looking for in the sewers again?
I guess you weren't there for that meeting either. Sorry. Simple. We have some catching up to do. So, did you ever meet Elamar? No, you didn't. You've been sleeping for like the last several days.
Right.
So we came to town. You were completely bushed. You turned into a squirrel. You went to bed. Myself and Xander, we went to the Market Treaty Ball. We found an invite to the Market Treaty Ball at our would-be assassin's campsite. You remember, of course, Solomon, this sleazeball who's been poisoning us one at a time for the last who knows how long. Anyways, we found an invite to the Market Treaty Ball there, and I thought we should get to this Market Treaty Ball. I should disguise myself as Solomon, being something of a disguiser, and see maybe if we can get some info on who was that wanted us whacked, maybe a little bit more of his plot. Of course, we know that person is Julian, but we don't have that evidence any longer. We just have this blank piece of paper because the evidence on the piece of paper, the contract for our assassination, disappeared. So we went to the Market Treaty Ball. Xander went disguised as a musician and did a great job. I went disguised as Solomon, and I ended up meeting a woman named Gloria who seemed to know Solomon. Gloria, as it turns out, is something of a power player in Ironton. I don't know if you're familiar with her at all from any of your time here, but she's a magical woman. She's into magic and into power and into consolidating that power. And in the process of all this and going to the ball and trying to find the evidence, I wanted to bring somebody from Ironton who could witness, maybe Gloria or somebody who's important in Ironton, given the lowdown on Julian and how Julian is shaking up the power structure in Ironton, how he's usurping power from the Ironton, the righteous leaders of this town. Julian probably up to all kinds of shady business trying to take over, I feel like. So I went ahead and contacted this guy, Elamar, who is the head of security in the town of Ironton. I contacted him using code words from the Hanna-Barbera Inc. rum tasting company, which is, of course, the secretive way of referencing the resistance against Julian down in Alabast. Right. Xander knows all this, by the way, now. I caught him up. Flick, I guess, knows it, too. I've got a good feeling about Flick, even though he's a tree that came out of nowhere. And So we brought Elamar with us to the ball. Elamar, I made him invisible. I disguised. He witnessed everything. He comes out. Probably means more to him than it does to anybody else. But he was like, "Huh, Gloria? Yeah, I've been trying to pin something to her for a while. I can tell that she's up to no good, but she carries a lot of clout in this town. I can't really go to the king and tell him that Gloria is causing trouble because, you know, he might take her word over mine. So what we need to do is we need some evidence of her being a shyster. And you guys are the only other people who've witnessed her admitting her shysterness at this ball, but nobody knows who you are. So what we need is for you guys to become known heroes in the town of Ironton. And then you guys and me can go to the king and I can say, check it out. This group of heroes and me are all on the same page. And that Gloria is bad news. You got to get her out of here because she's trying to steal your power from you. So long story short, we were in the sewers because Elamar told us that there was something afoot down there. And it seemed like it might be a job for a band of heroes who were looking for a little clout in the town of Ironton.
And we're all caught up.
Right. Well, I mean, there's certainly something screwy going down in the sewers. No doubt about that. I mean, but if you're running away from that, and that's what's needed to become heroes, it just makes me a little nervous, I gotta say.
Oh, we're running to you. We need you. We need one to your backup. That's all. I think that we just had us a fight in there. We weren't at full strength. We were hoping that you and maybe Red Cloud or maybe Gruckturf could join with us, and we would be at our full strength. That is a party of heroes, and then we could smash these monsters, make a name for ourselves, meet the king, get the money, get the gold, get the jewels. You know, that was sort of the plan.
Save the girl.
Save the girl, right? I mean, I like the plan, but you guys are pretty beat up right now. Maybe we should just go rest for a little bit before we try to tackle it again. I mean, I'm all down for coming back. Don't get me wrong, but
we're actually not beat up right now. Everybody's.
How is it that you look, Xander? Go ahead and let's go line by line. Xander, how do you look as you erupt from this cave in the darkness? What's your complexion? What do you have about you? Any new things you're carrying?
Well, well, I guess we could just do a total description, seeing how this is the first time we're going to get described. But I'm a half elf, fair complexion, in a 6-foot-ish kind of range. Very well kept, very well trimmed beard, facial hair. Yes, as a half elf, he does have some facial hair. He is slender and always prides himself on keeping clean. However, at this particular point, he's not so clean, probably more of a little on the dirty side, and maybe not smelling that great. He carries with him a rapier on his side, and in his hands right now is a big ball of what used to be an insect head. And strapped across his back is a red lute.
The insect head is still dripping blue blood.
Blue blood.
Blue. Now, next will be Shoji Tatsu.
Well, you know, it's me. It's Sho. It's your guy. I'm red. I got my red skin. I got my horns. I got my black hair. I never really looked that put together. You know, I put myself together a little bit for the ball because I didn't want to be smelling like the swamps when I walked in and rubbed shoulders with the elite of Ironton. But now I smell like shit. And you know, but I don't look too beat up. You know, I took a couple of blows maybe here and there, but you know, I came out. Sho's exhausted. You know, he's probably doubled over for a minute, catching his breath. He talked a whole lot really fast after having been chased by what seemed to be a giant ethereal centipede. So he's a little like frazzled. But you know, I'm moving. I'm looking limber. I don't look hurt. You know, I don't look beat up. Maybe just a little alarmed. and just your usual guy, just a little bit drab, standing at his what was like 5'6" or something like that. Not super big, not super imposing, so he can probably carry himself distances, and recover pretty quickly. So now he's starting to straighten his spine out, starting to get full breaths of air into his lungs.
Now, what's his facial expression as he comes up to see Super?
He's happy to see Super, man. He's hoping, he's probably like looking a little bit left and right for where the rest of everybody else is, because he's just like, Super, like, get the squad together. We're gonna go back in there and fuck shit up. And he shows up, and it's just Super again, which is like great, but at this point shows like, what has Gruchter been doing? What is Red Cloud doing? Seems like this whole band of heroes has got a reputation. Like, they're trying to assassinate us, and yet like it doesn't seem like we really want to do heroics that badly. So like, dang. So he's probably like masking a little bit of disappointment. Like, all right, but at the same time, it's like, Super's there. He knows Super can pack a punch. He knows that from having tried to take a ring off of his toe like 3 times at least and never succeeding. So he's a little guy, but he's a tough guy, and he's glad.
Yeah, and this is understandable too for Sho, because he is somewhat new to the group. He doesn't have the entire history of the group, though he's been through some thick of it. He's starting to learn more and more about what turns the group on, and it seems the rest of the group isn't showing up in a time of need. Xander, you've come up and you greet Sho you greet Super with a smile. There's a woodland creature of sorts, Flick, in the background, the newest of the group. Flick, you've just experienced some adventure, which is not completely new to you. What is it that you look like?
Flick.
Seeing Super.
Upon what do I look like upon seeing Super?
Exactly. What does Super see?
Super would see a man, what appears to be a man carved of dark wood, standing about 6 feet tall, waving at Super, going, "Hello, friend." Monsters back there. Glowing blue eyes with crystals at their center and a blue glowing rune on his forehead. That's Flick.
Now, how rough are his edges? I mean, if you think of a finished table with rough edges, or you think of a full finished table, or you think of just a piece of wood on legs.
Oh no, it's you can tell that whoever carved Flick, there was a lot of care put into it. It's not rough edges, it's craftsmanship. Someone put a lot of care and effort into making sure it the vessel not only is sturdy but looks damn fine as well.
All right, Super. With all of this erupting in front of you, your friends, but this isn't the first time you're looking at them. Come out of a cave, one carrying a dripping round thing. What's your reaction? What do you look like reacting?
I mean, I'm just I understand that they were desperate, they needed help and whatnot, but I'm like a little like kind of nervous because I'm like, holy shit, like it looks like whatever's in there is going to be fucking tough. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh, but then I kind of stand up, trying to be, like inspiring to them. Be like, it's all right, guys. Like, we got this handled. Like, you got me, we got Flick now. Like, if we go back in there, like, we'll have to play it smart. You saw what it looks like already. At least got like a hint of it. And so, I mean, what do you think would be the best plan of attack here?
Well, perhaps if we lure it into if it's a ceiling crawling creature, which it appeared to be, if it was either where there is no roof, if we could get it outside, or if we fought it in an area where the ceiling was the lowest. And we did have some spots where we had low ceiling, but it's further into the cave.
I point at the, what's it called? The limb or whatever that they have, and I noticed that it looks all burnt and stuff. I'm like, how did that get burnt? Right? That's what you described it as, I believe, Mike. Like it looked like it was charred or something like that.
Yeah, Xander, that's not how that looked when we first cut it off, is it?
No, it's like it's withered up the further away I got. It is leaking blue, which is, well, that's kind of disgusting. And I'm not really sure if this is going to serve any purpose for us anymore. I was hoping to show them what was attacking us down there, but this doesn't seem to be anything that's going to be beneficial to us.
What I'm thinking is whatever this other creature is, it might be similar. It sounds like some kind of bug type thing that was chasing you. Maybe if we lure it to wherever that,
Well, I don't know how similar it is. Yes, they both had multiple arms, but these things we fought were more bitey and crunchy, whereas the thing on the ceiling looked more slimy and crawly.
I see. Okay. I got ice knife. I could throw ice knife at him.
So,
growth. Ooh, plant growth.
but there is still one more dwarf in there that is in need of rescuing. So we really should look.
I think he's we're in more need of a mortician than a doctor or a healer for this guy.
For this
come
guy,
on,
Or a necromancer.
this guy's toast. But there is one more that we were supposed to find, and haven't found him yet.
Well, I'm into it. I say we go try and find him. Time is a wasting. If he's still alive, he might not have a lot of time.
So do we go back there, or do we go the other way?
That's a good question. I was just thinking he might have gone the other way. Might be more likely he survived if he went the other way. It seemed like there were a lot of monsters and just two dwarfs.
Right.
Did you get the chance to talk to the dwarves?
No, he was dead when we got there.
Both of them are?
Well, we haven't seen the other one. That's what we're saying. We saw one definitely dead dwarf. We have his earring. We did not see any sign of the other dwarf. So they could have split apart in the entrance. One of them could have gone left, one would have gone right. And the other one might still be alive in the direction that we didn't go. I'm thinking we could try and track that down, or at least check that other direction out.
It might be fruitful just to go check out the other direction right now, because we know what's down this way, and I indicate the way they came from. And it's some ceiling climbing fucking tentacles slimy monster, which we can deal with that eventually. Maybe we should check out what's going on this other way. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I am all for it. Let's go the other direction.
Let's do it.
Sure.
And I'm like the freshest. I kind of lead the way. I have dark vision. I have good perception and stuff too. So.
Oh yeah, we all do too. So we're all good.
Right.
I really do dislike how everyone has dark vision. It really makes dark vision really shitty. Like, you think it would be a great asset, and everyone's like, "Oh, I got it too." One gripe with 5e. All right. That being said,
there's two races that don't have it.
That being said, I have converted as a homebrew aspect of this game. And Xander, you did not know this, but some species, such as Super with a gnome, does not have dark vision per se. But if there is a moon out or something like this, then they go ahead and get their full vision. So an elf, a little similar, where you don't see in pitch blackness. But if there is some essence of light at all, it does exist out there.
Okay.
Show, on the other hand, spent a lot of time genetically in the underground caverns of the world, and genetically is adapted to seeing in actual pitch blackness. So, that being said, everyone in their vision is adjusted appropriately to that. It's a little skew off of what the core D&D rules are. All right. Now, gentlemen, you have a new person, or at least a half a person, in your party. Do you want to adjust the marching order? And if not, where does he fit within it as you explore this cabin?
Well,
Super said he was going to take lead, did he not?
Mm-hmm.
If that's all right. I mean, if there's a better.
Fine by me, friend.
yeah, I'll stay right behind him, and I'll go ahead and pop dancing lights out in front of us.
Okay.
Wait. Also, I just suggest maybe also leave I think we should hold on to these, but just leave them here, and we'll pick them up on the way out, like the heads and stuff of the.
Oh yeah. We'll drop the head at the entrance.
Okay. You go ahead and drop your head there, and I'll put a nice, beautiful square, and that's where the head is.
All right.
As you guys make your way forward, are you guys all single file?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
For the most part, or walking beside. I'll walk beside Super. That's fine.
Okay. As you make your way ahead, the cavern itself opens up and then shrinks again. It opens up and then shrinks again. You get nervous every time you go through one of the more shrunk caverns, as there's only enough space for one, maybe two, if you're really tight, to travel through this area. If you're jumped at a place like this, it's going to be tough. The ceiling also seems to grow and shrink, depending on where you are about. The cavern walls, carved, but not anytime recently.
It's carved, but and what was it? Last part?
Just not anytime recently.
Right. Sorry.
Make your way and have three choices. Straight, right, or left.
What do you think, guys? Split up?
No.
When in doubt, split the party, right?
Yeah, right. I say maybe to the right.
My gut says right too, so I'm going to speak
I was thinking
up.
right. So
Sure.
you're thinking down here?
Yeah, to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say hug the right wall and let's go that way.
All right, down here, there we go. You hear a ruckus. Man, they seem to be clashing together, but maybe it's just rocks crumbling under some sort of pressure. You make your way south, and it opens up into a vast room again with three different ways to travel. Though it seems to be more shut off than anything. Sumper, you were the first one to make way into this cavern. The ceilings grow tall. The walls lined with dampness. And a slight trickle of water fall down. Evaporated to the ground.
Does it smell exceptionally bad?
It smells Not bad at all, actually. There is no smell of mildew or anything of the sort.
Look, this isn't half bad for a sewer. And I look up, I guess, is if I can see up any. You say it opens up a bit. So I look up as. Yeah, do I see anything of note?
You look up and it seems that the seal. Roll me a perception check.
12 plus 1 second. Sorry, my internet is the worst. I think I have a +4 perception. What is going on here? Yeah, 16, yeah, total. Sorry, 12 plus 4.
So you look up, and as you look up, you're expecting water to drip from the ceiling, but it is not. It seems like water is dripping from the walls in front of you, but it's not water that's flowing out of the walls. It's just sweating profusely. Because you know that from a change of humidity, pressure, and heat.
Right. I guess I just check to make sure, is it indeed water? Just like I run my finger across it.
As you walk up, moving forward, you put your hands on the wall itself. And as you go to smell it, you hear, "Ah, back!" To your left, in a part of this cavern, you see an incredible insect-like creature next to another incredible insect-like creature, and then a dark portion of the cavern.
Are they the same? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They seem to be assaulting, leaned against the wall of that cavern.
They seem to be in the wall.
They seem to be assaulting a shield leaned up against the wall of the cavern. You're on a time limit. You have about 10 seconds to let your party know what it is you see and what you want to do. Timer starts now.
Like, guys, there's a couple of those insect creatures. I think they're attacking somebody. It might be the last dwarf. It's somebody with the shield, I think.
All right, what does each of you do, right?
Sorry,
I rush towards Super.
Xander will
just see what's going on.
run that way and run around the corner.
Okay. We've got a show there as well. Flick, you stay stuttered. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Xander rolls a 10.
6 total for me.
Bo rolls an 8.
I got an 8 as well.
And I got 6. You didn't hear me.
We have
we were initiative homies last time.
Yeah, we have a lot of 8s. We have a lot of 6s. What's our 8s?
Show and Flick are 8s.
Show, Flick. All right, what's our 11?
Xander had a 10.
All right, Xander with a 10. Where do you exist, Super? 6?
Yeah, I got 6.
All right. I am missing D20s. What is up with this? Ooh. Okay. As you look and you see two creatures pinning a dwarf, you would assume, against a wall underneath a shield. This is a full shield, full tower shield that he has wedged himself against a number of rocks on either side, to where the shield is doing nothing but preventing the entry into this little cavern against the wall that he finds himself. You hear a snarling as these things pounce and try to attack the shield. But the shield is initiated in such a way that they cannot break through into where he is. There are two creatures and two claws that seem to be starting to pierce through the wall. The creatures begin to stab at the shield. And as shitty as they roll, one of the legs seems to go, and the shield itself goes crumbling. The other legs seem to almost scrap at each other, piercing the exoskeleton of these insectoid-like creatures as they're just craving to punch into this. But the cavern's so small that their dagger-like feet are piercing each other as they go in. Xander.
Yes.
You, my friend, are first to act. As you see this, what is it that Xander is doing?
Okay. So by looking at this, they're about 10, 20 feet away.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to move about 5 feet over to the right so I can get a really good vision of them.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm going to cast Shatter. Oh, so do I see the third one?
The third one is coming out of the wall. He's not completely present, but you can see his appendages poking through.
All right. Well, it looks like I'd be able to get all three of them in a 10-foot cube.
You would.
So, now it's a 10-foot radius sphere centered. So, yeah, I'd still be able to do that.
I think you could go for the right two for sure. Whether or not the left one would be targeted depends on how close you're going to go.
Well, if I targeted right here and
Go
it's
ahead,
a 10
ping where
foot,
you want.
I'm on a target. Well, how do I ping?
You can just hold your mouse button somewhere.
If I ping right there, or if I cast right there,
Okay.
and it's a 10-foot radius, then I should hit all three.
All right. What does it look like as you cast? What is it that the rest of the party see?
So he comes around looking at the first two, and he's thinking, "Okay, I'm gonna cast Shatter on those two," and then he sees the third, and he adjusts slightly, slams his hand together, throws a spell forward, and just thinks to himself, "Deafen." Yeah, because that's what it's going to do. It's going to ring their ears. So I'm.
And Flick, as you see kind of the silhouette, the shadow, if you will, of Xander concocting something, suddenly you hear this high-pitched just almost deafens you, though you don't feel anything particular from it. There's a very large noise that just kind of caps it out in front of this.
And it is a con save 15
All right.
for all three of them.
We have 2 fails and potentially a third.
Okay. Oh, that is awesome.
Show your.
That is a 19 damage.
Hot damn. All right. Show, it's between you or Flick.
I'm gonna go ahead and Flick. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna go ahead if you don't mind here. And I'm gonna march right around the corner as well, similar to what Xander did. And I'm gonna say, "Oh, check this out! I can do this. I can do that." And I'm going to go ahead and cast Shatter right in the same place as he did.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, die, you foul fucks. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to it. Cast Shatter here. Not sure where that went. I tried to do it on D&D Beyond.
What's
But-
the save that they must make?
13.
Okay. One of them just kind of crumbles to the ground. The one closest to you shatters to the ground and seems to be motionless. Do they take half damage if they succeed?
I believe that is the case. Let me check real quick right here.
Let me see.
Yes. They take half damage.
Creature takes 3d damage. Say, or half his damage, yeah.
And what is the damage total?
Looks like I might have accidentally cast this twice.
Well, just use the first one.
10.
All right. The other one seems to crumble down as well. Flick, this is your turn. You don't see any of this. All you see is a lot of friends in a very small space and a lot of really loud screeching noises that are echoing through this cavern.
You're muted, Flick.
Yes. So I would 2, 3, 4. Moved. Can I want to move.
Tell me where you want to move to. You can go ahead and ping it, or you can just describe it to the audience.
How the heck do I ping it?
You can hold your mouse button.
All right. To over here.
Okay. So as you run up, you start just rubbing shoulders with the rest of the party, and you wedge yourself in such a way that Xander, you're kind of squished against the wall. He's squished against the wall. You're barely making way through.
Yeah.
You don't see any creatures yet.
No, I do not. All right. So I would get to that point, and then
You do
You know
hear
what?
the whimpering of a dwarf, though.
I do what?
Hear the whimpering of a dwarf.
I would if I heard the whimpering of a dwarf coming from that direction, I would probably yell to him. See if he was all right. Rally ho, good friend. Okay over there.
Don't be afraid.
You don't hear anything except ah, 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 ah.
I would look at my teammates and go, sounds hurt. And I suppose at that point I would. I'm actually going to use. I'm just going to keep moving through for the rest of my turn.
Okay.
I'm just going to go to like here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And there I am.
All right, and you look up, and there's a creature piercing through the wall. There's two other creatures there, and a dwarf hidden behind a shield, screeching and screaming, holding his ears. All right, super. We are going to move to you. As you see all of this happen, what is it the super is doing?
You're
And
muted.
you are muted, Super. But it could be because everyone else is deafened.
No, so I move up to this spat right here. I think I'll be able to as well because I'm so tiny.
Yep.
Um,
You have no problem skirting this little avenue.
I will go to this square right here. You see that on my? You see
Yep.
that?
You pop forward.
Cool. So that's 5, 10, 15. And then I will turn. I'll be like, you ever seen a crocodile in a sewer before? And then I'll turn into a crocodile.
Now, as you announce that, it echoes. Have you ever seen a crocodile before? Describe the crocodile.
Crocodile is basically a giant. Do I really need to describe a crocodile?
Well, what does your crocodile look like? How big is he?
He's not like one of those like legendary crocodiles, but I'd say he's about 6 feet long at least. Yeah, like 6 feet long. He is. Okay. He has an eye patch. I don't think I could do that, but I'd love it if the crocodile had an eye patch.
Not yet. But if you had an eye patch, you could keep it on the crocodile as you transform.
Right.
The crocodile,
like one of those poser eye patch guys, you know. I gotta actually.
It's like a fake knockoff eye patch. It's not even a real one. Yeah. All right. So as an alligator, what is it that you do?
Here, 1 second. Let me. Crocodile, to be specific. As a crocodile, I need to see what my movement is. Well, I would like to run up and I would like to attack. I'm sorry. 1 second.
As you're thinking about what to do, the rocks begin to crumble. The dwarf himself is still screeching in a corner. The rocks crumble in front of you. And another creature, slightly larger, pops out.
So I run up as a crocodile and I bite. I have 20 feet of movement. So I do 5, 10. I'll attack this guy right here.
All right.
Yeah.
You move up, kind of blocking the way for him to crawl over you or anything like this. And begin doing what?
And I bite him. Oh, and I rolled not 16 plus 4, 20 to hit.
All right, you hit. Roll damage.
1d10. 5 plus 7 damage.
And as he crawls out, he starts coming. The alligator crawls up and starts snapping and catches one of the legs. Not in the hard dagger area, but in a more fleshy area. And you can see him kind of like twitch, like pull it back, pull it back. The alligator's vice just doesn't let go. And blue blood starts to drip through your teeth.
Through my teeth?
Across your teeth. And then you let go, dropping down in front of him. You can see the face go very similar to the predator. His 6 other arms latch up and just start. His tail comes, smacks you, and his face gets ready to bite. What's your AC? We have a 19 and a 24. We have a 2 and a 1. And a natural 20. What's your AC, Super?
12 as a crocodile, sorry.
All right. So that's going to be 3 hits.
Oh, damn.
16. 1 is going to be critical. Go ahead and take 20 points of damage.
All right. Well, I revert back to my super self.
Okay. And the daggers go through and pierce your skin. How much damage do you take as super?
I think I only take 1 damage, right? Because I did 20 and then
Yeah.
there's 19 HP to the crocodile.
Gotcha. So as you turn back in your normal form, there's a little prick of skin that he pulls off as he pulls back with one of his claws. Xander comes back to you, hearing the dwarf screaming, covering his ears. This other creature in front of you, 2 down, 1 to go.
All right, I am going to move back into. You know what? Super's now where the alligator is, so or crocodile is. So if you want to take the crocodile off and move him up there.
Bada bing, bada boom.
All right, what I don't want to happen is for Super to get smashed anymore. So I'm going to draw my rapier and my dagger. And woo, I just went full screen. I didn't mean to do that. So I was clicking on the wrong thing. And I'm going to go to there.
You're going to have to give me a good explanation of how you're getting through this crew. Here, you guys
jump over Super.
All right, give me an athletics check. Or an acrobatics check, rather.
About a 20.
Oh.
Tell me how you do it.
Well, I'm going to run towards Super and somersault over top of him, landing right there. And drawing my rapier and dagger, take 2 attacks at this creature.
Make those attacks.
And rapier is going to be a 21 to hit, and dagger is going to be a 12 to hit.
Both hit.
Rapier is going to be 11 damage. Dagger is going to be 4 damage.
He crumbles at your first strike. How do you want to do this?
As I draw my rapier and he's predator mouth open at Super, I just want to reach the rapier around and just shove it straight through his open predator mouth and push it out the back. Shitty Bobby.
Blue blood just spews all over the empty hole that he came out of. Looking at the hole, it seems to be smaller than you would imagine a creature of this size to come out of, but now dripping with blue blood, the body crumbles in front of you.
I'm sorry, Super. I meant to do something to help you, and I completely forgot. It's my bad. It's my bad. I'll try to remember next time. I'm sorry. That was great. You were awesome with that crocodile thing. That I didn't see that coming at all. That was incredible.
Wait, what'd you do wrong? I was like, you just killed the monster.
I meant to pull Sonya off and do something, but I forgot. And I got all in the moment, and I didn't. You could have taken a terrible hit, and I would have blamed myself for it. I'm sorry. I'm glad it all worked out, especially with doing the crocodile thing. That was awesome. But I'll do better next time. I got it in the moment. Sorry.
I thought you did a great job, Xander. I mean, all the creatures are dead now, right?
It seems as you look around, there's no immediate threats.
Yeah, I got you.
We just had this dwarf to finish off.
Right.
And you just hear,
I'm like, I think you did fine, Xander. And then I turned my attention to the dwarf, assuming that we're out of combat and stuff. And be like, hey, like, or I guess we don't know if it's dwarf, right? But I just go up like, hey, and like knock on the shield, like, hey, open up there, like your saviors have arrived.
you see a dagger, but all miss you.
I I kind of jump.
Just here. Ah!
They stop screaming, so then you could communicate, as we do in modern society. Relax.
This goes on for about a minute and a half, where his dagger is just piercing the air in front of you. As you guys might make some quirky remarks about him, eventually the shield kind of moves to a side. You can see one eye, and
so while he's back there yelling and screaming, so I'll take my loot off and I'll just start playing a tune until he realizes that music's playing and it's not getting clacking it.
And even less than a minute and a half, he comes to moving over, his body crumbling under the distress of adrenaline now fading off of him. He looks up and sees you all and just falls to the back against the wall. His body looks exhausted. Still holding his ears in response to you guys. Hey! Who are you?
Why, we're the Boar Boys.
What?
The Boar Boys.
Huh?
I'm just gonna show him the earring. I say show him the earring. I don't know if I have it. Whoever has the earring, show him the earring, and then just kind of motion come out of that corner. Let's go.
I'm gonna take my fingers and put them on his ears and cast cure light wounds.
Okay. He comes back and goes, ah, holy cow, sorry for shouting. That was intense. His eyes capture the earring that you hold out for him to see, and his body shrinks even more. Says, that belongs to Thorough, doesn't it?
Yes, it did.
Possibly we never quite got his name.
What is of the man?
We weren't as fortunate in saving him as we were saving you. He met his end in these caves.
I feared as much. Thank you. My gratitude to you for that was going to be my last moment.
We've met these before. These are actually what did your friend Thorough. These are what did him in as well. What are these and why are they here?
I'm completely unsure. This is my first time seeing such a creature. I was exploring this with him, looking for the source of the rank smell. These seem to travel through the walls like a worm travels through gravel. They leave holes. I have yet to look into one. They're tougher than I would ever expect of a creature in a sewer such as ours. But that is not all that's afoot. Heat seems to be coming from areas of the cavern that never received heat before. We know of a lava flow down here, but this is something geographic, something geological. Yes, geological, less than geographic. I'm sorry, my education is puny compared to many people in this town. But geographically, geologically, again, I'm sorry, something is going on. That's the best I can gather. Who are you? What brings you down here?
We are a party of heroes from Alabast. We were enlisted by Elamar to find you and your compatriot and find an answer to the mysterious goings-ons down here. But I think we should probably return you to Elamar's company as soon as possible, where you may speak to him and debrief him on what it is that you've discovered down here.
May Celesti bless Elamar, for his gratitude is much, much obliged.
How long have you been down here now?
About 2 days. I was attacked and trailed by these creatures further up the cavern. Took a turn down to here because I realized the cavern grew smaller and thought I'd stand a chance better one-on-one than one-on-many. Didn't take them long to realize that they could burrow through the walls around me. Then I backed into this corner and waited for the past 10 minutes. That's when you gentlemen showed up. Who are you? Exactly. Do you have a name?
They call us the Boar Boys.
The Boar Boys. This rolls off of my tongue.
Commit.
Before we leave, give me a minute to gather myself. I thought I was dead.
You are alive and well, and we shall escort you to the entrance.
So you guys take some minutes here, gather him, and begin to walk out. Give me your marching order with your newfound compatriot. We demand he is not in the back.
No, he can be in the middle with.
I'll go first again.
Okay. I'll bring it back if that's I'll do that.
Sounds good.
Word.
All right, give me a. Well, as we move up here, which direction?
Which direction?
Correct.
Back towards the entrance.
Back towards the entrance, the left.
Yeah, like down, I guess.
To the left.
Of these three, it's the left.
Oh, sorry.
Is
Go ahead.
that big piles of gold right there? Can we just take that with us?
No, that is not gold. Those are rocks. Go ahead and take
Gold is rock.
Go ahead. All right. As you begin to explore this way, go ahead, Xander, and roll me a d20. No, Super. My apologies, as you are now leading this crew.
So,
Did you mean for that other one to get tagged along there with you?
I don't know what you're talking about. What did you get?
12 plus what was it?
Oh, just a 12 is fine.
Okay.
You continue down this way for some time. At this moment, you find another intersection, left or up.
Flick, you're
You're
on
muted.
Well, we take a left, right? Correct. If we took two rights to get in here and we're getting back out, so left.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, taking the left here, you go down and continue along the cavern in some way. And you come across a puddle. Another left and another up.
What the hell? This is not the way we came.
Yeah, that wasn't even a left, though, was it? We just went straight there.
You turn back around if you would like to take the other direction.
We wanted to take a left at the last fork.
So turning around,
Notice.
you move down, and you find yourself at a crossroads of many. Go ahead and discuss and ping which direction it is you would like to go.
Am I tripping? What's going on over here?
Oh, I mean, it's not down. It's not down here. This is not where we want to be. This is where we just came from.
I
Do
feel
we
like
need to go this way?
This isn't where we came from. We came from up here.
right. I think we are supposed to keep on going down.
Mm-hmm. Flick was right. It was two lefts that we needed to take to exit. It was two rights that we took to go in.
When you guys are ready to go ahead and give me a direction you'd like to travel. And whichever direction you pick, roll me a d10, whoever's leading. On chance of a random encounter.
So
I rolled. Okay.
Yes, well, let's keep going the way we are now, which was a left before, which I feel like was what our decision was. The first time, I'm not sure why we decided on that and then ended up going straight forward. Continue going this way towards the entrance.
Ping, go ahead and show him ping, because left
Yeah.
and right and up and down are all starting to mean the same thing to you all. Okay. Super, what did you roll?
I rolled a 3.
well, that's the ancient white dragon.
As you come down, the cavern itself seems to get smaller and more tight. You work your way through, and on the ground, you see an arm. Bloodied, but calloused and drained of life.
Say an arm?
An arm. A humanoid arm. Xander, roll me a medicine check.
$18.
You look down. The arm is shorter than a human or an elf arm. Belongs to a dwarf. Bloodied. Old.
Any rings or anything on the hand?
No rings.
Bracelet?
Nothing of value. They seem
Or identifying. I mean, I'm not complete slime.
they're all chewed off. All right.
All right.
Which direction shall we go now, boys?
Super, you're in the lead. I am casting. I do have.
I don't know if I should be in the lead anymore. I feel like I got turned around, but I feel like just keep going straight, yeah?
do have dancing lights up. So
You can if you would like.
I think this must be a magical cave. It seems as if there are more turns on the way back than we took on the way in.
Right. That's kind of what I'm wondering too.
it's kind of a straight shot coming in. It's like
We took two turns, yeah.
Or maybe there's something that's making these tunnels. It's not magic. It's like a big creature. But
I think we probably would have heard that, though, if there was something
True.
that was shifting the earth and changing the landscape here. This is very strange. It seems as it has to be magical, especially considering how straightforward it was the previous direction we went down this cave. It seems as if there's something altering the terrain.
So I'm going to ask the dwarf what his name is and if any of this looks familiar.
He just seems to start getting color again recently. Dimensions. I haven't seen this side of the cavern before. I apologize. I knew the way out from where we were. I had assumed you did as well. I was not watching, but following you in this way.
Well, if you'd known the way out, why didn't you just run there?
Again, sir, I apologize. My life in my mind had nearly ended. I was just following those saviors that rescued me from that fate. There's a lot going on in my head at the moment. Maybe less blood going to my eyes.
Where are we going, Soup?
Just then, you hear a off in the distance, echoing throughout the cavern, similar to the noise you heard running out of the cavern the first time. And with that, we'll take a quick break.
I feel like I am not the right leader in this moment.
Super, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Okay.
Now that you're thinking, like, holy shit, nothing looks the same, roll me survival and we'll see what you ponder.
15 total, 11 plus 4. It's pretty good.
I'll let you know when we come back.
Fair enough.
Man, game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, God, it's moving right towards you. Move, get out of there. Towards you, move. Down. Move down. Move down. Get out. Oh, no, not that way. The other way, God.
All right, back to ShoreShack in the caves. You guys are fucking lost. And Jumper confirms with his wisdom and survival ability that that nothing actually changed. You guys, at some point along this journey, took a wrong turn. Somebody said something about a puzzle coming into this, and it turns out that the cave itself is the puzzle. You don't recall back when you took a wrong turn, but a wrong turn was had. You find yourselves in a tight cabin. A little bit too tight for comfort. What direction do you go? What do you do? What spells do you deploy? As we continue from the second half of ShoreShack Adventures.
I mean, I think at the very least, we should probably turn back and go where we came from. I'm pretty sure that we took a wrong turn, guys.
I think you are correct. I think we are in the wrong area. So let's go back to where we found the dwarf, which we'll just turn around and I'll lead going back.
Okay.
So we stay in that line going backwards.
As you guys begin to maneuver in such a way that it makes sense for your travels, and your DM shows you the ways in which you are traveling. Slowly.
I'm in the right.
Haphazardly. You come to an inflection point, a familiar inflection point, from before the break. Which direction would you like to go?
Okay, so here we need to take a We need to go this way, right? There's this way, right? Show?
Let me see. Sorry, my internet has been so shit.
Well, if we go the other way, if we take a right here, and then another right, we can get back to where we were attacked, from which point the dwarf said he knew the way out.
Right.
He could direct us out.
That's a good point as well. So, okay, so our right and the right will have us right back to where the dwarf was.
Yeah.
But then we were a left and
So you make your way here. This up top is the dead body of another skewered corpse that you learn that the dwarf had taken care of. The dwarf goes ahead and points and says that this cavern below you is where you found him. And you go ahead and walk in and realize that this is indeed where you found him, and those are the bodies of the other people.
I'm not sure I'd walk in after he said that, especially considering how careful we're about tight places and walls where dudes are coming out of, and that being a place where walls of dudes came out of. So if he knows where that is, I'd say, dwarf, if you knew that's where we came from, do you know the way out from here?
He says, I do indeed. This is where we took a wrong turn. He positions the party, putting himself first, and begins to walk out.
Wait, you probably shouldn't go first, being that you're pretty weak. You should stay in the middle of the rest of us to defend you, and then you can direct us from there.
I did cast Cure Wounds on him.
Yeah, still, he's the most valuable member of the party right now. I think that we need to keep him alive.
It's got a point.
Wow, I don't remember it coming this direction.
No, certainly not. But if are you sure, dwarf? Are you good with directions? It seems like this is actually the opposite way than from where we came.
He says, yes, I'm sure. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
All right. Ooh, I'm not sure what that is.
All right, well, I rolled a 1, so I completely believe him.
13.
Sounds like he's confident.
I do recognize that pool of water.
What's his name?
I'm tough.
What?
Tough.
Tough?
Tough. Yes. My fair friend was thorough.
Tough and thorough.
What is your name?
I'm Xander Ridnax.
Well, tough. I hate to break it to you, but that is absolutely and 100% most certainly not the direction that we came from entering here. Could there be another exit this way, perhaps?
This is the way that I came. I'm unsure of exactly the way that you came.
I see.
Give me a moment. Let me peer at the ground. As you guys take a moment here, go ahead and roll me a d10.
2.
So he reaches to the ground and begins looking for tracks. So you guys spend about 2 or 3 minutes. He goes, rubbish. The granularity of the ground here is too thick to leave trails. I'm not sure of exactly the way you came, but I think that this is the way.
This is the way that you came.
If you have a better idea, well, I'll see you at the exit. And he begins to walk ahead of the group, getting about to there before you guys are able to make a decision.
Dwarf, stop. Don't go anywhere. You're our charge. We need to keep you safe. Last time you wandered through these halls alone, you almost got killed. If you have any sense of survival, you should stay with us right now.
He says, "What more is there? I haven't heard anything come out of..." And the creature you see scurrying across the top of the cavern reaches down with his tentacles, grabs him, and all you see are his legs dangling with his head completely swallowed by about 17 or 18 tentacles. His hands flailing, his legs kicking, his sword or dagger dropped to the ground. Roll initiative. There's a 1 or a 2, Super. And you guys got yourselves a 2.
You had to roll a 2, didn't you, Super?
I rolled a 1 for initiative.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 10.
11.
Only we were playing golf rules.
All right, Flick, you got a 1. Who got the 3?
Me? Show?
Show got a 3. Xander got a 10?
Sandra got a 10.
Again. Look at that, Xander.
And 11 for me.
And Super with the 11. All right. And he not only rolls, but got a natural fucking 20.
Well, good thing his mouth is full.
Super, just then you look up to view this creature, and you get a red blood splotch that falls into your eye. You rub your eye, and you have blood that was dripping off of your eyebrow that just landed into your eye. Thinking back in the split moment, you realize that this is when the creature had poked your body as turning back from the crocodile. It has left a small trickling bit of blood on top of your head. As this oozy yellow creature grabs the dwarf, sucks him in, moves over, and gives a swing at you, Xander, with its tentacle itself. It's a 19 to hit.
Miss!
Ooh.
No. He hit. I got a 14.
And he uses his bite because his tentacles are actually already captivated right now. He gets an 8 plus 2, 10 damage to you as he's holding on to the creature, still dangling, but his mouth comes around the side, slaps you in the side of the neck, and shakes a chunk. Still momentarily stuck there. Super, what do you do? Watching your friend Xander get a chunk out of his neck.
I will throw an ice knife at it's that tube monster thing, right?
It's a slug-looking thing.
Slug looking thing. I'll throw an ice knife so it's here it is on the roof, and I'll try to kind of hit it right in the midsection of the roof, basically to do damage and also to see if I can knock it down from the ceiling.
All right, go ahead and give an attack.
All right. Ooh, not the best.
You do notice that there are individuals in between you and him, and you don't have a clear shot. It would be up to them to do a dex save to get out of the way. A low dex save of 8, but a dex save nonetheless.
And I throw for 12 total to hit.
All right, the rest of you, roll dex saves. As you hear Super go, where do you go, Super?
Ice knife!
From behind you.
Got a 12.
13.
14.
Nice.
All right, and as you guys hear ice knife, you go, oh shit, and you duck out of the way. right past your ears. You as it goes up into the ceiling and goes explodes. Anyone within 5 or 10 feet of you, Super, must make a save.
Within 5 or 10 feet of me?
5 or 10 feet of the ice knife.
That's going to be me.
Right. And then the save would be...
How tall is the ceiling?
10 feet total.
Okay, so that would just be me.
Just, yeah, on a 15 for the dex save.
Now, if you miss, that he also has to make the dex save?
If they're within 5 feet of the explosion, yes, they have
Okay.
to dex save.
18 for that one.
Oh, thank God. I would have
Nice.
So
You take
does-
half damage, or-
So does the worm, though.
and the worm fails.
All right, now 2d6 damage. Let me roll for that. 5 plus 3, 8 damage total to it.
Do you have a magic bonus?
I don't think so. It's just 2d6 damage is what it says.
You should have a spell modifier, though.
Oh. I'm not sure where that is.
D&D Beyond should calculate it. If Xander passed, does he take half damage or no damage?
He takes no damage according to what I'm reading here. Target
Okay.
within 5 feet must succeed on a dex saving throw. Or take, there's nothing about half.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it does another d6 of damage since it's a second level. Sorry. So 13 damage total to it.
All right, 13 damage total. Well done. No bonus for him on those. All right, you hear ice knife. An explosion happens. Xander, you just ducked flat on the ground. Let's say that you're almost in prone position. It takes you half your movement speed to get up, but I don't think that's of a concern now. Xander, it is now your turn.
Okay.
The creature is still on the ceiling, still grappling the dwarf. And let's say he drops the dwarf at this point. The dwarf be able to snaggle through. Let me fucking roll for this to make sure. Dwarf shinks and his helmet comes off. The tentacles were on the helmet itself. He has now fallen to the ground. A sad look on his face.
Yeah. Bet he
Phil,
feels
you're up. You're on deck.
well, I only got one left, so it's the ceiling's about 10 feet tall.
Ceiling's 10 feet tall.
How tall is a dwarf? Less than 5 feet.
Yep, he's about 4 foot.
All right, I'm going to put Shatter right at the ceiling, and so that we're out of the range of it. And I'm going to cast Shatter one last time and take my last second level spell. That's going to be a con save of 15.
You go, and the dwarf just hits the ground, covering his ears, like, not fucking again! And then he hits the ground, and he's just looking at you, Xander, like, curses! This other creature moves around and doesn't seem to be affected by it. He at least saves the throw.
All right, so if he takes half damage,
So, Tutatu, you're on deck.
the creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful. He takes 6 damage.
All right. The echo blasts you all. Flick. It blasts you too. Yep. Show, as you look up, what is it that you were doing?
Well, I'm going to step back just a few feet out into the opening to maintain a sight of this creature. So maybe somewhere back here, but just somewhere to give Flick some room to move, people room to move, but so that I can still see and cast without trouble in that direction. And I am going to once again cast Shatter exactly where Xander did. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sho thinks to himself and says, "Cover your ears!" And then,
Here, I already am!
how'd you hear me then? Cover your ears! And then I do it. And it's once again a 13 con save. And
All right. You can see him shudder, but still holds himself. The dwarf also made a con save, got a 19, and so he is fine and not taking damage because of the echo of this in the tight spaces. The other creature goes ahead and takes some damage, so it looks like it's not the entire amount.
very good. Well, the entire amount was 13, so half of 13, however that shakes out, is the damage that he should be taking.
All right. Flick,
Yes.
as you begin your turn, let me know what it is that you do.
All right. Sluggo's on the ceiling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you look over your shoulder, you hear some movement to the wall behind.
All right. I'm going to. So I hear movement from like. Hold on.
In the wall north of you.
From like here.
Correct.
Okay. Well, if I hear movement coming from there, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to this spot.
Okay.
Just move 5 feet. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Font of Magic class feature. And I'm going to transmute one first slot spell into 2 sorcery points, so that I have 3 again. So that is my bonus action. I move 5 feet. I still get to do something, right? Yeah.
All right. As you're struggling with something to do, you can feel that other creatures are starting.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and which one is it ready? Or no, I'm going to use the dodge action. So I'm going to focus entirely on avoiding attacks until the start of my next turn. Any attack roll made against me has advantage if I can see the attacker.
Okay.
And I make dexterity saving throws with advantage until the start of my next turn, and then that is the end of my turn.
Absolutely beautiful. You hunker down. You look at both the wall and the slug in the top. Just then, the slug's tentacles lash out and shoot at Xander. Getting a 19 to hit with a 10-foot reach. Go ahead and make a DC 13 con save.
Say 15.
Well done. As these tentacles latch onto you, you feel just fluid dripping down your neck. And you were able to shake the poison off. Take 4 points of damage as he lashes down and hits a 15 as well, taking a chunk out of your arm. For 2 points of damage.
–
He goes then and moves backwards. Out of the line of sight of a number of you guys.
Oh, do I get an attack of opportunity?
You sure do. If you would like to take one.
Yeah. All right. So I'll use my crossbow, my hand crossbow.
Okay. As he's running away, you hear click as a crossbow shoots off.
16.
As it pierces to the back of his sluggy feet, leaving him across the ceiling.
9 points.
9 points of damage. Hell, well done. All right, Super. It's on you. Xander, you are on deck. Show then flip.
So the thing is like right above us. Is that the case, or I don't see it?
He has ran away. You no longer see him in your line of vision.
Sorry, gotcha.
I'm gonna yell, "Save the dwarf!" Just throwing that out there. Save the dwarf.
Game over, man. Game over.
Is the dwarf really injured? I missed that. Sorry, I'm trying to like do work shit here on the
You
side.
look down. He's just on the ground with his hand on his ears, rolling around, going, "God damn it! Is it over?"
I go up to the dwarf and I grab him by the scruff. I'm like, "Get a hold of yourself, man! We're in these caves together. You're making us all panic,
All right.
especially Xander." Like while I'm like clearly kind of freaking out a little bit.
He seems to be good. You see poison kind of dripping down his head where he was attacked, but there is no cuts into his skin. So you assume unless this has got a skin reaction to the poison, it's not in his bloodstream, whatever that means.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, I will cast not cure wounds. Lesser restoration. Like I'll touch this thing. I'll say, I don't know if you're poisoned or not here, bucko, but we're gonna make sure that you're not gonna die on us today. And I cast it on him.
Oh, the ringing is gone. Thank you, short friend.
That's what I'm here for. Sometimes. I mean, I do other things.
All right, Xander, anything you would like to do in this immediate action?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Any movement? Holding still.
I'm going to give myself 9 points back. Take myself up to a not so squishy 28. And I will move. I'm going to go to here.
Over on the left there? Yep.
And so
Show
I
it.
cast the spell. I moved. Hold on. And I'm going to do a I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Show.
All right, show. As you hear this Xander running away, healing himself, he is also singing to your heart. And your heart feels good about it. So what is it that you're doing in this moment? You see the creature run away. You see Xander run the opposite direction. You see Super shaking a dwarf who's just happy that he can hear again.
I would like to entreat the dwarf in the strongest tones possible to retreat towards me.
He looks like he's going to do so.
I'm sorry.
He looks like he will do so.
Oh, you're still breaking up, man. I'm sorry.
He looks that he is going to do so.
He looks like he's going to do so.
Going to do so. Thank you. Looks like he's going to do so. Excellent. All right. In that case, phew.
Like, do you go back to you still when you decide what it is you like? Any
All right.
idea?
You must be in a hurricane, Mike.
How's this? Looks frozen.
I didn't understand any of that.
All right.
Yeah, me
give it a-
All right, so he'll be right back.
He got kicked. He got booted.
I think he booted himself so he could load back in again.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait for him to come back in, and then I'll just edit all this out.
Yeah, no worries.
You can say whatever you want right now. It won't be in it.
Sumpa calls down the power of the gods.
Flick, you want to take this one?
Either show or flick. What action do you take?
There's Mike.
Aha!
Well, it's what show's turn, right?
It is my turn, but I hesitated. All I did was tell the dwarf to get over here, and he apparently looks like he will do so.
Whoever knows
Okay.
what they're doing between both of you, just let me know. Otherwise,
I'm telling the dwarf to get over here.
okay.
All right.
But
Is it my turn or are we?
Yep, all you.
Okay. So did something come out of the wall right here or no?
Not yet.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I would point to the wall and tell everyone there's something coming through the wall here and point to where it was. And I suppose I would move to I'll move next to I'll move past the dwarf to the other side of him. No, wait, right here. This side of him. And again, use the dodge action and wait for something to come through the wall.
all right, you guys are preparing. You hear a skit, 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 skit. The sound of the legs of this other creature that just ran away continue down the cavern. You stare at the wall, hearts beating, waiting to embrace some combat. A rock falls from the wall itself, and a light peers through as a small trickle of molten lava begins to pool out of that onto the ground.
Oh shit!
You wait for a few moments. It seems like there is no combat ahead of you in this moment.
I would
All right.
look at the dwarf and tell him to get us out of here immediately.
I would like to cast Mold Earth.
Okay.
If that lava trickle is, let's see what it is. I believe it has to be kind of like 5 feet off the ground or less.
Okay.
In any case, just closer, 5 feet from the ground to the ceiling, whichever it's closer to. I'd like to take a cube of that and draw it down as if to block it, to clog this hole.
Okay, yeah, and you do so, and you just see the earth itself almost turn to liquid, but not a magma liquid, just a tarry liquid that skews over it and then shapes back into its normal form. There is no lava coming out at this moment, but you do know where there's lava, there's incredible heat and incredible pressure. So Mold Earth has sealed this for now.
I think we need to go this direction.
I agree.
The dwarf says, "No, this is the exit."
Let's say, hey, idiot, you almost got yourself killed 2 times now. Just be quiet and follow us. You live.
All right, who's leading?
I'm in front. Let's go.
All right.
Yep, in here.
Sumba goes, I will forever never be leading in caves again.
Get up here.
All right.
Whoa.
Although this doesn't look familiar either.
No, Xander, I don't think this is the right way.
How about right here? Let's go right here.
All right.
All right.
No, okay, that doesn't look familiar either. How about down here?
All right. After about 20 minutes of travel, you come to a location. Xander, roll for me some intelligence or survival.
Which one you want? Same thing?
Survival.
Good, that's better. 15.
You have been here before. You were lost when you were there.
All right, let's go this way.
All
Let's
right.
go.
As you turn the corner, you come to a water puddle. It seems crystal clear as you look through it. You guys are in haste, though, so let me know if you'd like to stop. If not, roll me a d10.
Is this the puddle that we saw on our original trek down here?
Roll me an intelligence check.
A 10.
It looks very similar,
Okay.
though you're unsure.
Well, I would let the rest of them know this. See, this may be where we were before. When we went down the left tunnel. Actually, if this is the same spot, then if we keep going down this way, there should be some storage crate. Do I notice any dwarven writing on the wall at all?
In fact, what did you roll in the d10?
I rolled a 9 plus 1, so I got a 10.
No. Who rolled the d10 for the encounter?
Oh,
Oh, I did not.
I don't think anybody did.
Somebody go ahead. Whoever's leading, go ahead and roll a d10.
Is that a 10 or is that a... Just want to make sure that it was a 2.
Okay. In front of you, as you come to this water and you look up, you see a number of dogs.
dogs?
Dogs.
What isn't going on in this sewer system? Jesus.
Like puppy dogs?
As you get closer, you notice coyotes that are eating something.
They got to get these sewers checked out, man. It's a total mess.
Welcome to a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon where every corner there's some new thing.
And this is happening at what area?
Just south, the direction you were going. So down that tunnel.
So like down here.
Yeah, I'll set them here in a sec. Now, some of you should be able to see them. Xander, I'll move you a little bit, and you should be able to see them down south there.
Oh, I got you. So, Flick, is this the way to get back out if it's the way that we came in before?
One would assume. Does anybody speak to animals?
Oh, yeah, actually, sure.
There's some dogs up there. I don't
Well,
speak
you know,
to
dogs wouldn't go too far down in here. So, oh man, okay. So I'll cast Speak with Animals.
All right. Go ahead and cast. Are you ritual casting it, or are you just
No,
regular?
casting it.
Okay. Just as you start, is it verbal components?
Yeah.
I believe so. Just as you start to mutter the things, the coyotes hear you. 3 of them go running, and 1 you're able to catch up to. His friends, you can tell, probably are nearby. You come up to him. What do you say? His eyes fixed on you, crouched in a attacking type manner. But you notice a curiosity in his eyes.
It's okay. We're not going to hurt you.
This is our meal.
You can have the meal. We don't want it. In fact, we're just passing by. Is this the way? Is this the way you came in? We're just looking for the exit.
What is it that you want?
We wish to find the exit.
Well, then go to it.
Do you know where it is?
Yep.
Will you show us?
I'm not going to fall for this. This is our meal. Go and get your own.
Flick or Super or Show. Do any of you have anything to eat on you?
I might have. Do I have any meat scraps? Let me
I
look.
didn't pick up the arm earlier, so I don't have that.
He begins to move away, kind of into the darkness there, behind the body.
Got a ration. Hey, here, I throw Xander the ration.
All right. So I'll walk on further down. And just tell him, hold up the ration and say, look, here's some food. This is yours. Just show us the way out.
He's curious, begins to come a little closer to you, smelling the food. Behind him, you hear, "Woo, woo, woo," and he begins to duck down again.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We're just looking for the way out.
Go ahead, roll me a persuasion check. I can't think of any good motivations for a coyote to keep listening to you guys.
24.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's like, you give us this body and that food, we'll take you out of here.
I throw it to him.
He says, wait here. I want to talk to the boys.
The boys.
We are the Boar Boys.
And he goes
That's
back
not-
behind the corner. You hear a number of
I just yell, Shuck, you in there.
no response.
Ah.
And then the dog comes out and says, "Come along, follow us," with a smile on its face.
All right, let me get my friends.
All right. You walk back up to the rest of them.
So, all right, so there's some coyotes that are going to show us the way out. We've got to go quick before my speech with them dies out. But be on your guard because it's liable to get. They might be tricking us.
All right. Sounds as good a lead as any.
It is just coyotes, so we should be able to handle that.
I think so.
All right, so now we hurry it back down.
All right. You make it back down, and you notice that there are 5 of them.
Okay.
This dead guy is gone. I'll try to walk you through here a little bit. You guys are able to. So, Flick, as you come, the coyotes start running up to you and licking you.
Oh, a bunch of good puppies.
Funny enough, start gnawing a little bit at your wood.
Not this again. I kind of
Son of a gun. We're right back where we started.
chew them off of me so they're not.
Yeah. And so they start to walk up north. Let's see, there you go. It's tough when your party's this big. You know, I'm going to stack you guys on top of each other. Give you all the same visions. All right, that's better.
It doesn't seem like it took us this long to get here before. Wait a minute. He's lost 2.
Oh my god.
The dwarf was right. Son of a gun.
Roll me a perception roll.
I rolled a 22 perception, and that 20.
But I can tell that we've gone back over how we've gone numerous times. But there it is, son of a.
And just as you approach, you notice a slug go behind you. You guys have made it past it, not noticing it, but it's not a threat immediately at you, and begins to run deeper into the cavern.
I throw a magic rock at it. Magic stone.
Roll!
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it.
Roll!
12 to hit.
I'm gonna fire at it too then.
Roll!
Oh, fuck. We all shooting at it?
We're shooting at it. Shoot at it.
19.
Shooting at it.
All right,
I cast
dogs are darting in different directions. You see a number of these dogs all run north into the cave, kind of the other direction, this way. It's like you're not a dog. You don't go with them. All right, everybody, roll your attack.
And the Flick would like get caught up in like running with the dogs. But no.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a
All right.
9.
Damage, Xander. The rest of you all had missed.
9.
9 damage. Well done. You see the dart sticking out of it, dripping green blood.
Can I use a casting of catapult against this thing?
You already rolled an attack?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't done anything yet.
Okay. If you would like to catapult, go right ahead.
Yeah. All right. So catapult. It's a first. I'm going to cast it as a first level spell.
Okay.
gonna choose an object. Is there I pull a weight out of my pocket. I have some weights and I drop it on the ground, right?
Okay.
And then I choose this weight and I point at this slug thing,
Yes.
and the weight flies straight at this slug.
All right, roll an attack roll.
So it would be fly straight line. The object would strike a creature. That creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Give me a 13.
And you can see the tunnel itself starting to crumble around it. Give me a perception roll. As the smoke clears, you do not see the creature. He skewers off into the round, and you get the sense that you missed him.
We
So he
showed
made a save.
That's what I said.
All right, you all are back at the cave entrance. The dogs had ran westwardly. You have made it out with a live guard. Both his hands intact. What is it that you would like to converse? Do or otherwise leave to the next episode of ShoreShack Adventures.
All right. Well,
Good time to debrief.
Show, what do you think? We need to get this guy to Elamar?
Yeah, I think we need to get him to Elamar. We could report back to Elamar what we've learned. Honestly, I'm a little bit befuddled by this cave. It would seem that it either pulled some kind of incantation on us where we were unable to pay attention to our surroundings for an amount of time that we may not have been aware of, or otherwise it changed behind us. But that, as well as the fact that there seems to be a whole host of monsters inside of it, and also shit pouring out of the ceilings, and also lava. Seems like there's quite a laundry list of problems we need to take back to Elamar here. But yes, first and foremost, let's return the dwarf to him. Let's see what he has to say about that. Let's see if he thinks that's enough to bring to the king, given that we've defeated some monsters in order to bring this dwarf to him. I don't know how many monsters they have in their sewage system on average. Could be like a normal day for them to have like a few monsters in their magical sewage system. So maybe we just best some monsters and save a dwarf and save the day. But if he wants us to go back, then he can tell us so, and we can go back and exterminate the larger slug-like beast.
Now, I do want to sketch what both the slug monster looked like and the arachnid type creature looked like.
All right, do you have pen and paper on you?
Well, I don't really know. Let me look and see.
And does anybody have pen and paper on?
No.
No.
I have a crowbar.
Get etched into the stone.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead and roll artistic ability for me. Give a performance roll at disadvantage.
All right, a 15 or a 25?
No, 15, I guess. You go ahead and scratch into a rock, and it comes out to look like you scratched a very detailed creature into a rock. I will let you go ahead and draw that, Xander, if you'd like to, on a piece of paper, knowing that you carved this into a rock with a crowbar. It would look very similar to a super drawing, but much, much, much worse.
Well, I can always draw it once I get to them, and I can say, yeah, if you give me a piece of paper and some ink, I can draw these creatures.
Agreed. I still want to see the fan art of you trying to draw a thing, but we can leave.
All right, so I had drawn.
Oh, damn.
That.
Okay. This is what you got on the rock.
This was the other one that I had drawn.
Ooh. It's actually incredibly close. All right, so you have it in memory. It's about 2 a.m. in the morning, you suspect. The start of day 2. You have a meeting with the king, potentially scheduled, if you can make an appearance, on 4 o'clock on the 3rd day. Time is of the essence here.
This would be the end of the first day, right? Or
the end of the first day, start of the second. So you're at 2 a.m.
I'm going to go find a place to take a short rest and then figure it out from there.
All right, so I guess we'll ask the dwarf, Tough. So you're good. You can get home from here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, you're welcome. And we will be visiting Elamar tomorrow, and we expect you to be there. Meet us there at 9 o'clock.
He says, I am going to Elamar now.
It's 2 a.m. Do you really want to wake him up?
He looks down at his body. He looks at you. He looks back to the cave. Says, I don't give a flying fuck.
I'm gonna say I like the cut of this guy's jib now. A little retarded there earlier, but yeah, I'm down. Let's go. If he's gonna go wake Elmar up, let's go wake him up. You know, it's times of the essence.
We'll talk to him too.
Okay. So you guys gather on. Boom. Through the town. Slick whores are around. People having way too much to drink. But the party has died down. There is not much left. You walk up to a gate, and there are 2 guards that are sitting there. One's asleep, snoozing. The other at attention, seems to be covering watch. Your friend Tough comes over, gives them a very particular handshake. That seems important to them, and they recognize him through his facial features and otherwise. Brings you into a gated set of buildings. Looking up, you see a candle on in a room in the tower. Shadows flickering against the wall, and then sits down, lies down, falls down. And that's where we'll leave tonight's episode. Oh, ShoreShack Adventure!